Good morning to all of you. Welcome to Legal Matters by Sai Babu Sukar. In the Limitation Act, I told you the topic of legal disability, which becomes a bar or which enables a person to take some more time, like a minor 18 years, to institute the civil suit. But disability, what I mean is physical disability is no bar to the so-called in the legal profession, to excel in the legal profession. Disability is no bar to excel in the legal profession. So friends, now let us quickly go into the topic. Honorable Supreme Court of India, two judges bench, Justice J.B. Pardhiwala and R. Manmohan Mahadevan. This is a suo motu case. The case is in recruitment of visually impaired, that means blind people, visually impaired in judicial services. Recruitment of visually impaired in judicial service versus the Registrar General, High Court of Madhya Pradesh. SMW, special mention, C number 2/24, it is dated on 3/3/2025. In this case, the Honorable Supreme Court of India quashed the rule framed by the Madhya Pradesh High Court, Judicial Services. What is that rule? The rule disallows or the rule does not allow visually impaired persons to take up the judicial they are not, the candidates with the low vision, they are not allowed to appear for the judicial services examination. Is it correct or not? So, some people came to the Supreme Court challenging the rule framed by Madhya Pradesh Judicial Services. Whether for lawyers, is it an impediment? Certainly no. I will tell you a classic example. There is one visually impaired man in the regional office of Syndicate Bank, Deedan Syndicate Bank. I think about 10 years back I have seen. My son-in-law, who is a lawyer, and myself went to the Syndicate Bank to meet the concerned officer. I was stunned to see that he was a blind man, visually impaired man. But while speaking, he has beautifully reiterated, actually the lips are playing with the different case laws. Anta medayana. Kabatti visual impairment is not an impediment to the legal profession. Likewise, Supreme Court has given umpteen examples. Visually impaired candidates, they cannot be said to be not suitable, and definitely they are eligible. The examples are Senior Advocate S.K. Rungta. S.K. Rungta. He has got a Muslim mobility defect, but still, motor defect and Dangala, but still has excelled in the service. Likewise, Nirmata Narasimhan, impaired vision, but he was the key person in the drafting of India's national policy on universal electronic accessibility. He was one of the draftsmen. He is the key draftsman. Third one, Justice Zak Muhammad Yaqub, Zak Muhammad Yaqub. So, he is also, of course, he is from South Africa, very famous judge. Likewise, in USA, there is a visually impaired person, very famous judge, David S. Tolley. So, these are all the examples of persons who demonstrated that visual impairment is not impediment. Visual impairment is no barrier to them to excel in services. So, professional excellence. Suppose if you have to be selected as in the police force, yes, you have to be physically 100% fit. No exemption for that. But for law, not necessary, because it all depends on the brain. You would have seen in some court, not in the Supreme Court, a very dwarf lawyer. She is a lady, I don't remember her name, followed by about 10 juniors. She comes to the court, argues beautifully. No doubt she is a dwarf. Of course, visual impairment is not there. Likewise, the limping personality, so many persons are there. So please remember, this should not be a hindrance to the service, particularly the judicial service. That is the vision of the Honorable Supreme Court of India. Disability is not a bar. Disability certainly is not a bar, particularly in the legal profession. So we have to take the example of very famous scientist who used to be in the wheelchair till his lifetime, but his achievements are so many. So don't underestimate the physically. Here, particularly low vision, of course, vision that is visually impaired. This is also important because, of course, unless you know the Braille language, it's very difficult. సహజంగా మన కళ్ళు ఉన్న చూడటానికే జడ్జిమెంట్ గుర్తుపెట్టడానికి కష్టం అవుతుంది. దానివల్ల ఉద్దేశం అయితే ఎస్ డెఫినెట్లీ ది ఇంటెన్షన్ ఇస్ నాట్ బ్యాడ్, బట్ సుప్రీం కోర్ట్ సెడ్ నో, యూ కాంట్ డిజలవ్ దెమ్, అలౌ దెమ్. సో క్వాష్డ్ ది రూల్ ఆఫ్ మధ్యప్రదేశ్ హైకోర్ట్. ఇవి అండర్స్టాండ్ దిస్ మచ్. కాబట్టి విజువల్లీ ఇంపైర్డ్ అంటే కంటి ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఉన్నవాళ్ళు రావడం లేదన్నది కరెక్ట్ కాదు అని సుప్రీంకోర్టు చెప్పింది. థ్యాంక్ యూ.